Опа, мясо.
I have this thirst for blood.
Ну ё-моё.
What sort of creature is this?
Черт. Это жопа. Чё за хрень? Вот ни хрена это не вампир.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Если вы больны, если у вас нет денег, неважно кто вы, неважно откуда, обращайтесь за помощью к Доротее. Никакого обмана, никакой платы, никаких вопросов. Просто найдите дом Дариуса Петреску и покажите этот купон. И что-то
Some
по-китайски.
voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Опа.
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked, all right.
Ну, черт.
Die, vermin! Leech boy! Watch out!
Вот как всегда, блин, я снова не там где-то вышел. Чё за шлепа?
Die, leech!
Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту.
It's locked.
Ура! За нашу страну, за нашу. Приступ пневмонии. Шляпа. Ай, блин. Вот что за хата? Ни кровати, ни хрена нет. Мясо.
There's one of them. Watch yourselves. Doesn't like burning, does it? Fucking.
О,
I cannot enter.
ё-моё. Вот это жирная хрень. Опа. Относительно вербовки парней его отчетчили. Кажется, одного я нашел, это Альби. Он тупой, как табурет, но крепкий. Я попросил его раздобыть лекарства для продажи на черном рынке, и он быстро их доставил. При следующем встрече расскажу ему, что его приняли в мокрые ботинки, и теперь он должен получать приказы у своих новых боссов. Ага, понятно. Щит. Эх, не все равно придется прорезаться сквозь толпу этих индейцев. Я тебя съем. Пам-пам-пам-пам-пам. Так, что это за шляпа?
Best turn around if I were you. 2 days ago. Oh, you! Stop there!
Да ёперный театр, ударь кого-нибудь уже. Ой, туп. Да ёперный театр. Ты чё такой стрёмный? Кас! Чё такой жирный? Сейчас первый останка вижу в этой игре. Фу.
Please open the door, sir.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No.
Нет, я не подумаю, тебя не такой. Меня вот Бенджамин Паумер, скотина. Мог что съесть?
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Бальзам.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
Funny, I've been searching for her, sir.
Really?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs in a...
Perhaps you could focus.
I'm sick, broke, and my son...
A gun?
Блин, сожрать его, что ли?
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London, so you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Вот обезьяна.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Чё за...
Drugs from the sick and suffering.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such...
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this
A gun? Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in...
Actually...
Then you have come to the right place.
Oh, really? Why didn't I...
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
I don't like to talk about...
Competition?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some...
I'd like to see...
Its effectiveness. This has been proven by many. Even the flu
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. It's locked, all right. There's nobody here.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many.
Какого хрена? Вы что здесь делаете? О.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church.
Ё-моё.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for...
Excuse me, sir.
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you...
Really?
I'm Joe...
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her.
Could you please tell me more?
She's a nice girl.
Goodbye.
Welcome, sir. Please take.
I am Doctor. Right then.
О,
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched.
You will all be judged for your sins. Even now, he judges.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am Dr. Jonathan.
A son?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work?
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she...
I have had an...
коммунистка. Ни хрена. Вот скотина.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although
Really?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nip.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek...
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to...
Do you not think it...
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me?
Not much, and that's the beauty.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wife?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her?
Maybe I prefer she remains.
In what way?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added...
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox.
Vivid, of course, yes.
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about. And that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Копай, чё хорошего в этом?
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city.
I understand your need.
I don't care. I don't have many friends.
If some misfortune...
Well, you, for a start.
Блин.
I'll leave you...
Уважаемый мистер Нытыхкот, спасибо за то, что прислали сборник стихов «Песни сломленного города». Мы нашли его интересным, это же вам ответили в первый раз, когда его получили, но вы должны понять, что это страшное время для нашей страны. Публикация данной книги была бы совершенно неуместной, и поскольку вы отказываетесь менять название и требуете, чтобы работу печатали либо в полном объеме, либо вообще не публиковать, то мы решили выбрать второй вариант.
Good evening, Mr. Niven.
And good evening to you, too.
You don't really make a living from your scribbling.
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard.
Perhaps it's time to think about something more useful.
Men and women need food for certain. A roof and
Та.
I'll leave...
Bottle and I'll be nasty. Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
All right then, but be quick, though I...
Tell me about it.
Are you joking with me? People don't...
I have no interest in your work.
Short story. The war...
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
I don't know her, but I...
You seem to respect her. Christina, have you been examined?
I don't like doctors or hospitals.
You can put your own life in danger, that...
And you think that would worry me?
Do you need any assistance, Miss Poppy?
It depends on the price of your med...
I will see you. Goodbye.
Клейтон, блин, да вот где его искать, а? Это что ли?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of...
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives?
No. Except for that...
Where can I find this?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself.
Ага, переутомление. У меня такого нет. Печалька.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influence?
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be...
I served in France. Our top priority...
Sir, streets are a battlefield too.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change?
I believe the situation can only improve.
Have you any idea?
I've had to run and hide more than once from...
I'm convinced there is...
Really?
What is a journalist doing in this bar?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to...
So you risk your life to reveal...
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist.
Goodbye, Mr. Duck.
О.
Good evening, miss. I'm Doc... I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell... A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius... Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well.
Я знаю, что могу показаться эгоистом и дураком вам. Мои дети, ведь вы все еще живете в стране, где идет война, но здесь в Англии тоже идет война. Война с бедностью и несправедливостью. Это война, в которой я намереваюсь участвовать, несмотря на строй непреклонный возраст. Преклонный. Вот почему я пишу вам сегодня в Румынию я не вернусь от начальства, я этого больше не увижу, не пустить Мэйвилла, ведь вы уже взрослый, у вас свои дети. Вы знаете, на какие жертвы
The
нужно
content
идти,
of
чтобы
Dara's
изменить
letter to
мир.
his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Cheap price, good quality.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go out.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick.
I'm nothing like you, Mr.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing
I have to admit your words have conviction.
I'm thirsty. Give me a drink.
Razvan, can you hear my voice? I need help!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort, liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's
Ой,
breathing,
жуть.
but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. Yes. Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He...
Печалька.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Doctor.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk? He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel. Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain. Yes. Yes. I have this. Good. The stitches are holding. Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
Понятно.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Don't question me, nurse. I need...
He's still bleeding, Doctor.
I must... first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Yes, I know. You are true to your reputation, Dr. Reed. Dedicated and precise. No one could have done more.
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then.
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane.
We have a deal. It's locked.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
If you want...
We've not been formally introduced.
I am Darius Petrescu.
I know you fought for your country when...
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life.
But Romania escaped the grasp.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland.
How did you meet?
I'm her oldest friend in...
You mean...
Real.
Don't be.
Так, Бенхит. Как снять? Ну, хотя бы по одному таскать.
Don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game you pay for.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Да блин, как сюда выйти? Что?
Crush the leech, boys!
А, дебильное прицеливание. Чё, блин? Ни хрена не хп снесли. Ослабился. Печаль. Ну и где я?
It's locked.
Touch me with your disgusting hands! What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent. But those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye for...
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book. Never will get anything from her.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
We are vampires. We live by leeching the blood from weaker prey. We are Darwin's next chapter. His cynical and perhaps ultimate expression.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiry.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you, it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you. But you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a sight.
I believe I could agree.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to...
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our... hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well, but I believe...
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forward.
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I don't understand. What?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seems they have been recruiting.
I bid you farewell. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
Now or never.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak. But I have something in...
This strain of flu. It's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expert...
I admit it did occur to me.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here.
We'll discuss this more later.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I...
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I need to talk...
Please do so.
Nurse Crane will not be returning to Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, really? Did something happen? She seems such a very capable woman.
Perhaps too capable. Nurse Crane also ran an illicit dispensary in Whitechapel. I had to ask for her resignation.
I see.
So you manage a hospital financed by a vampire?
Yes. Pembroke was founded by Lady Ashbury. She's also our largest donor.
If I may inquire...
Well, Jonathan, she sought me out and offered me the position. It's been a very profitable partnership for both parties.
A convenient yet expensive way to have a fresh supply of blood on hand, day and night, don't you think?
All vampires drink blood by nature. Me, I praise the lady's exemplary moral fiber.
Do you know anything about the vampire?
Without a doubt, it's the Guard of Priwen. Zealots to the last man.
Where do they come from?
Once they shared the Brotherhood's ideology on non-intervention.
They're definitely well organized and equipped.
They're extremely dangerous and not to be trifled with. To them, you're a feral beast, and I, your accomplice.
We'll talk...
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you need medical?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Doctor.
Not under my watch, nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening, Mr. Al.
Evening, Doc.
Soldier.
Not really.
As long as you remain here, I will...
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is...
Goodbye for...
Fear and disgust on every street corner. A daily routine.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening,
Do you require medical assistance?
I will be fine.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening, Mil.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins...
That's not a surprise.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run...
Do you need any medical...
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of...
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I'll get...
Goodbye, Mil.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical attention as well?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this?
Despite what you think about this place, I can...
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved.
Goodbye, Mrs. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Is there anything...
Really? Why is no one else up?
Unfortunately, you are not the only person.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd...
Do you need my...
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am...
Goodbye. Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, Doctor. Warm.
I'll leave.
Came here in the first place.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly.
Does my arrival inconvenience you?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swap.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable.
I will see you. If you have a
Doctor,
I'm. Aren't you too old for such jealousy?
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed.
Thank you.
I'm quite busy.
Do you need my...
Don't be
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your... Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
I'm sorry you ended up in a medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry.
I cannot enter.
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help. I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very
It's locked.
unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
It's locked, all right.
It never ceases to amaze me how you...
Good evening. I'm
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
a colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
A pawnbroker? I expect...
Yes, sir. Oh,
Who comes here to...
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been at...
What kind of...
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy...
Please show...
Of course. Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive.
sister. I don't know if I have the strength.
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for...
Shouldn't you...
Maybe later. But for now, I need to talk...
It's locked. I have this thirst for blood.
Shouldn't you go...
Maybe later.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You've felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
Thank you, my lady. I will.
Good. But be careful. If I found you here, others may too.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel. This man stunned me with his faith, his crucifix. This is not good news.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
She died because of me. How do you think I feel?
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What words would you like to say to your poor sister?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
There. I confessed to that vicar. Do I feel better? Only time will tell.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help?
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what...
If you persist in investigating the most...
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, Chris.
Change.
Do you need any assistance?
It depends on the price of...
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners.
Goodbye.
Safer place there.
Watch out!
Cannot be defeated. Freeman shall prevail. Remember your vows, friend. Christ, he's dead. Away with you! Over there! Engage! On to us! Watch out! It's fast!
fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
You selected me, chose me.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Good evening. Do you need medical? Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most...
Don't take too many risks with your health, Miss...
And that is a good thing.
Goodbye, Miss...
Tomorrow, more body.
It's locked.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this. Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Hey, Doc.
What can you tell me about...
All I know is I ain't letting any...
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
This place is full of sickness and decay.
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me.
I'll leave you for now.
Die, vermin!
This is despicable.
Hey! I'm talking to you! Sniper! Want some of this?
Are you all right?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiaoshun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you?
Why? Why should I go?
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
You should go home now.
No, not yet. I miss my dear Matthew so much, and I can't forgive myself.
Goodbye.
Matthew. The world has gone completely mad.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiaoshun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence. And I need sadness.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
This part of town is very fragile. I hope...
You should go home.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for...
So many new graves. Why do I still feel so disconnected from the past?
Did you hear me? Over there! Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Oh, come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best. Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all.
Fuck the war. Fuck them all.
Hello again, Mr.
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog.
Tell me about your...
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the...
I admire your honesty.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the...
Have you always been...
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir.
I will... Good... Good evening, sir.
I'm Dr. Reed. So it's you...
And you are...
Newton Blight.
Do you need...
Afraid so. In the war...
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to...
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you?
How do you feel about Oswald?
I love him. I love Oswald.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but
Maybe a time will come when...
I know, Dr. Reed. Oswald wouldn't survive behind...
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Fear no evil!
It's locked, all right.
Lord's work here! Die, vermin!
Don't forget to...
Good evening, miss. I am Doctor...
Who are you?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say?
I'm not here to...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want?
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton.
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or...
Yes, he was.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the...
What can you...
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy...
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor.
You're quite blunt.
I like people who know what they want and say what...
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal and...
Fair enough. Stay away from us, then.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us.
What can you...
You can't tr...
Really?
Bastards, all of them.
You sound...
Take the gravediggers of Southwark.
Loot...
Whatever.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution.
What happened?
I don't know, and I don't care.
So you have no idea what really happened?
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor.
And your conscience is clear?
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed. When...
So you decide who lived?
Yes, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Mark my words, miss.
Good evening,
These
sir.
murders
Don't you
are the
recognize me?
work of a
We
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting...
Yes, you had definitely drunk too.
I'm Dyson Delaney.
Inebriation aside.
Yes.
Take this, then.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop. The only remedy
What's it look like?
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton.
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted.
Who could tell?
About the sad saint.
Murders by night.
Surely you must have had...
Sure. I wanted...
Sounds like...
No, sir. I was an anarchist.
Do you really think the world...
No. I believe we all can choose to make...
I want to know more.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor. Make no mistake.
Do you still see your
No. I hope they'll...
Do you believe in a...
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like...
Goodbye. Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed...
And what do you define as a strange...
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter?
I know what you're thinking. I'm...
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A man of science.
Have you heard of the...
Of course. They're dedicated hunters.
Were you ever tempted?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a psych...
So you hunt alone?
Vampires are just like every other predator.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But
Really?
It's nothing personal, Doctor.
I could make you tell me, but I respect.
All I will say is this. Gossip has it.
Maybe at least you can tell me who...
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom.
What can you
Did you hear about what happened to Jack?
It's impossible to predict.
But it's my...
So...
I patrol late at night.
Can I?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters of...
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that...
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand...
Have you ever killed one?
Of course I have. What kind...
Goodbye. Good evening, Tom.
Good.
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seems so lost.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he?
I believe he returned to his flock.
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help.
Please.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find...
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here.
What can you tell me?
It's not that bad, thanks to people like the...
Who? How is it you could...
Well, since everybody needs a
I see. So you...
Or something like that. Nothing that a few what...
Since I'm...
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly to...
How could a physician...
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine.
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the kit.
You're something of a figure.
I'm only pouring alcohol.
Goodbye, Mr. Watt.
Welcome back.
Goodbye,
Not long ago, this sort of mess.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on Sean Hampton's trail, too.
Want some hair? I'll send you fucking back!
Crush the leech, boys! Let's pin it down!
Tom has so much alcohol, he could keep this district afloat for quite some time. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
Vicious bugger!
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast. I cannot enter.
This is not the place for you, sir. Ah!